I'm Mitch with the firetech engineering team, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Violet UVC decontamination system. To begin with, the Violet UVC system utilizes UV light to decontaminate a patient compartment in an ambulance or other emergency vehicle. It consists of UVC emitters, which are light heads that emit light in the UVC spectrum. These are usually mounted on the ceiling of the patient compartment in an ambulance and are spaced to provide maximum coverage on the surfaces where it would shine UV light. Each Violet system is equipped with a number of safety features to ensure proper operation and to make sure that operators and patients are kept safe from UV light, and to prevent the system from initiating a decontamination cycle when there's anyone in the patient compartment. At a minimum, this includes an occupancy sensor, which uses infrared detection to determine when there's occupancy in the compartment and ensure that a decontamination session is only initiated when the patient compartment is empty. Optionally, there are also 3 additional sensors that can be included and may or may not be used in your system. This includes door sensors, seatbelt sensors, and a parking brake sensor. The UVC system also includes a user interface panel, which will be mounted on the wall in the patient compartment. By default, this system is in idle state, and it'll display idle on the screen with a countdown timer. This countdown timer is the automatic decontamination timer, and it indicates the amount of time that the system is going to try to wait until initiating an automatic decontamination cycle. If any sensor is triggered, occupancy, parking brake, seatbelt, or door, it will show on the screen with the sensors active, indicated by the letters D for door, P for parking brake, S for seatbelt, and O for occupancy. If the timer, which is set to 3 minutes by default, reaches 0 and any sensor is triggered, it will just reset the timer and count down again. When the countdown timer reaches 0 and no sensor is triggered, the system will go into an automatic decontamination cycle. When it begins the decontamination cycle, it will say decontamination will begin in 30 seconds. It'll display a 30-second countdown timer on the screen, and the in-use LED will flash slowly. When the countdown reaches 10 seconds, it will make another announcement.
Decontamination will begin in 10 seconds.
And continue counting down. At this point, the in-use LED flashes more rapidly. When the countdown reaches 0, a decontamination cycle will begin, and it'll announce
Decontamination in progress.
Decontamination progress about every 10 seconds. During the decontamination cycle, the in-use LED will remain illuminated, and it will display the time remaining in the decon session. By default, a decontamination cycle lasts 15 minutes. For the display purposes here, we have it only going for 1 minute. When a decontamination cycle ends, the system will announce decontamination complete.
Decontamination complete.
And then will display decontamination complete on the screen. That will remain on the screen until any sensor is triggered, which will usually happen when somebody opens a door and comes into the patient compartment. And then it will announce decontamination complete again for the benefit of whoever just came in.
Decontamination complete.
When decontamination is complete, the complete LED will light and the screen will display decontamination complete. Then when somebody opens the door or triggers the occupancy sensor or any other sensor that is enabled in the system, it will announce decontamination complete again. And then after 10 to 15 seconds, it will go back to the idle state.
Decontamination complete.
At any time during a decontamination cycle or in the idle state, or just to prevent a decontamination cycle from beginning, you can depress the red emergency stop button.
Emergency stop enabled.
The system will announce emergency stop enabled, and it will display emergency stop on the screen for any amount of time that the emergency stop button is depressed. When it's depressed, it will stay depressed until it's manually released. To release the emergency stop, simply turn the red emergency stop button to the right a quarter turn, and it will release. The system being fully automatic will enter decontamination cycle whenever it's able to, but the user has the option of manually triggering a decontamination cycle by pressing the manual decon button in the upper right corner of the user interface panel.
Manual decontamination requested. Exit patient module now.
It will make that announcement that a manual decontamination cycle has been requested and telling the user to exit the patient compartment. Then a 30-second countdown timer begins, after which it enters the same cycle of another 30-second countdown and all the same steps as when an automatic decontamination session is initiated. Thanks for watching this informational video about the Violet UVC decontamination system. If you have any questions about your system or need any assistance from firetech at all, please contact firetech customer support.